Good evening and welcome to your instructional channel, Morocco Market Beats. I am Ashraf, bringing you the latest local and international economic and political analysis and news. Today, we will touch on the Moroccan Sahara conflict, or the national cause as we Moroccans refer to it. The Moroccan Sahara conflict, or rather the fabricated conflict, is one of the longest territorial disputes known in modern history. Due to the overlapping threats of the parties involved, the degree of hostility, and the confrontation of Morocco's historical right to its Sahara. So let us understand first what's been happening in this strip of land. This long-lasting artificial conflict dates back to the 60s of the last century, when Morocco demanded the return of its Sahara immediately after gaining independence up north from the French in 1956, following Spanish colonial authorities' refusal to hand over the southern territories to Morocco, the motherland. This region in northwestern Africa, part and parcel of the southern provinces of the Kingdom of Morocco, was a Spanish colony until 1975. Prior to decolonization of the area in 1884, this region was populated by different tribes, mainly Berbers, that pledged allegiance to the Alawid dynasty sultans who have been ruling Morocco since the mid-17th century and legislated for the Sahara provinces as they did for the rest of the national territory. Allegiance to the sultans was of political and constitutional character. Even at the time of Spanish colonization, the Sultan exercised legislative and executive powers, to which was added spiritual power. Therefore, this part of land had at all times belonged to the kingdom and had always had legal ties with the Moroccan Cherifien Empire, and never a vacant land as claimed by separatists. For instance, this historical evidence was later on recognized by the international community. A quick historical recap. Morocco struggled against division and occupation by the French and the Spanish at the beginning of the 19th century, and the fight continued in different forms as Morocco's decolonization process was not a straightforward one, but rather a long, gradual, and a complex one, and finally led to the recognition of Morocco's independence in 1956, followed by formal demands to prepare for the return of the Sahara to the motherland. Supported by many countries and all the member states of the Arab League at the time, Morocco thus claimed all the territories still controlled by the Spanish and part of the territories controlled by the French Algeria, a portion of the Sahara around Tindouf and Bachar, now in Algeria, as well as Mauritania up to Saint Louis of Senegal. It should seem rational or reasonable for a finally independent state to regain its pre-colonial land after France seized a big part of the southern western Algeria now that were under the Moroccan influence. But this instead heightened tensions and contributed to the outbreak of Morocco-Algeria border conflict and led to the so-called Sand War in 1963. Not only that, but Algeria has gone off and decided for geopolitical reasons to obstruct the recognition by the international community of Morocco's retrocession of all its territories and supported the creation of a separatist group known as the Polisario in order to undermine Morocco's sovereignty over its Sahara, using all the tools possible from military, diplomatic, and financial support. An armed front constituted in 1973 and formed by a group of rebel Moroccan-born and educated Sahrawis who were attracted by the socialist model of Algeria, never existed before then, exiled and based in Algeria, calling for a virtual republic establishment in 1976, months prior to the withdrawal of Spain from the Moroccan southern provinces. This took place clearly in response to the late King Hassan II's strategic call for the Green March on November 6, 1975, mobilizing over 350,000 Moroccans from all walks of life who peacefully marched toward their Sahara, freeing it from the Spanish occupation. Subsequently, the Polisario Front threw itself into a bloody armed struggle against Morocco and led the region to a 16-year-long conflict before the two sides agreed to a United Nations-backed ceasefire in 1991. Of course, in time of war, truth is often the first casualty, and in this regard, the Moroccan Sahara artificial conflict is no exception. What separatists claim is simply an illusion and fallacies that are void by virtue of history, law, and reality. The Moroccan Sahara has been liberated after Spanish withdrawal. It is absolutely true to say that it is nothing but a matter of hostile will, fragmentation, and division. After all, Morocco is in its Sahara, and the Sahara is in its Morocco. Thank you for watching. See you in our next episode. Subscribe and stay classy.